Hello friends, and welcome back to another episode of Dessertories. Today we're going to be looking at the history behind a South African confectionery called the Koeksister. Now this is something that I cannot help but buy. When I go to the grocery store, it's always there. I love it. And it is basically like a donut, all right? Let's look at its ingredients. It's sugar, water, cinnamon sticks, fresh ginger, lemon, the juice and the zest, flour, salt, baking powder, butter, and eggs. And then you take the dough, you plait it, and then you deep fry it, and then you take that deep fried Koeksister and you boil it in simple syrup. And then, like I said, you can eat it just like that, or you can sprinkle some coconut on it if you love coconut. So I love these Koeksisters. Okay, so where exactly does the Koeksister come from? Well, the Dutch settled in what is known now as Cape Town in order to supply the Dutch trading ships with fresh water and food, since it was a really long journey that was sailing to and from the Dutch East Indies, which nowadays is known as Indonesia. So when these Dutch settlers came to Cape Town, they brought two recipes with them, okay? And the one was a sweet pasta dough that was shaped almost like a bow tie. And then the second one was a deep fried treat that resembled a donut, okay? And at some point, someone decided, okay, I'm gonna combine certain elements from both of these recipes and braid the dough, and that was how the Koeksister was born, all right? So from the Koeksister, Cape Malay people developed what is known now as the Koeksister. And you could describe the Koeksister as a spiced donut, but the texture is a little bit different. So let's have a look at what is used to make the dough for a Koeksister. And guys, it's so complicated. There's so many ingredients. So let's get into it. Mashed potato, butter, lukewarm water, lukewarm milk, cake flour, baking powder, instant yeast, salt, sugar, and here's the spices. It's a whole lot of mix of spices. We have cardamom powder, cinnamon powder, ginger powder, aniseed whole, mixed spice, grated fresh clementine peel, and then the cooking oil for you to fry the donut in. So traditionally it's naartjie peels, because that's what we use in South Africa. And then we also have ilachi powder that you can use in place of cardamom. Well, I think it's the same. I'm not sure if it's the same thing or just different names. But anyway, I use ilachi powder in my recipe. I don't use the potato, the mashed potato. I think I may have made it incorrectly, but I didn't really like the heaviness of it. And then I also never really liked the citrusy flavor that the naartjie sort of brought into it. So what's really nice about me making my own Koeksisters is I've taken out the elements I don't really like, and then I have sort of made it my own, and I'm just a tad bit in love with it. So originally a Koeksister was eaten as an unsweetened breakfast savory, but now it is a very sweet breakfast treat, but we all eat it any time of the day because it's so yummy. So how did the Koeksister recipe come about? Well, the Cape Malay slaves that were brought to South Africa brought along, obviously, their spices, and a lot of these spices were incorporated into dishes that they would eat in South Africa now. So the story goes that these Malay slaves who worked for their Dutch masters would take home the Koeksister dough that was left over at the end of the day from work. And then when they get home, they incorporated their spices, the way they cook things and all of that. And that's how it became a Koeksister. Now, a lot of people don't actually know that there is a difference between a Koeksister and a Koeksister. So that is the difference. And I think, I don't know, it's a bit difficult to choose which would be my favorite, probably a Koeksister. I think probably a Koeksister. It's so yummy. So after the dough has risen twice, then it gets deep fried in oil, and then it gets boiled in a cinnamon simple syrup. That's a bit thicker than a simple syrup. And then it is rolled in coconut. I love this treat so much. It is very sweet though. And if you leave it in the cinnamon sugar syrup too long, which is kind of what I do sometimes, it becomes very soaked inside. But you know, if people like that, then so be it. I do like it very, very much. Right, so they are pretty different. They both sort of have a donutty vibe to them with a little bit of a different texture, but it is really yummy. I am so in love with Koeksisters. I have to stop myself from making it every weekend. It is so sweet and quite unhealthy, I would imagine, to eat. But anyway, there you go. It is a yummy South African treat. If you do not live in South Africa and you really want to try it out, find a recipe, make it. It is a mission, but it is fun. Thank you so much for joining me on Dessertories. I will see you next time. I'm your girl, Chef Cherie. I'm out.